How were Canterbury Cathedral's stained glass windows created? Imagine looking at a window and seeing stories from hundreds of years ago come alive in vibrant colors. That's what makes the stained glass windows of Canterbury Cathedral so special. These windows were made through a detailed process that took many skilled artisans years to perfect. It all started with making the glass itself. Artisans added metallic oxides to molten silica to create different colors. For example, cobalt oxide made a deep blue, while copper oxide produced green shades. Once the colored glass sheets cooled, they were carefully cut into shapes that fit the window's design. These pieces weren't just randomly placed. They were cut to tell stories or show religious figures. To add details like faces or clothing, artists painted on the glass with special vitreous paints. These paints contain ground glass mixed with metal compounds. After painting, the glass pieces were fired in a kiln at high temperatures to fuse the paint onto the surface. This process made the painted details permanent. The next step was assembling the glass pieces into the window frame. Artisans used strips of lead called cames to hold each piece in place. They shaped the lead cames around the glass and soldered them at the joints to keep everything secure. The finished panels were then fitted into stone window frames in the cathedral walls. Some of the earliest windows in Canterbury date back to the early 1100s, around the 1130s, making them among the oldest in England and Europe. A large series called The Ancestors of Christ was created mainly after a fire in 1174. Interestingly, scientific tests show that some panels, like the one showing the prophet Nathan, actually predate the fire and were made as early as the 1130s or 1140s. These older panels survived the fire and were later incorporated into the new Gothic structure. The windows depict biblical genealogies, stories, and historical events, serving as visual lessons for pilgrims and worshippers. They also commemorate important moments, like the murder of Thomas Becket in 1170. The craftsmanship behind these windows reflects the skill of medieval glassmakers and their dedication to creating religious art. They are more than just beautiful decorations. They are stories frozen in time, showing the deep connection between faith, art, and history at Canterbury Cathedral.